A senior police officer has filed a suit at the Supreme Court challenging the constitutionality of the criminal procedure that makes some offences non-bailable. Currently, offences including rape, piracy, robbery and treason are considered non-bailable crimes. But Superintendent of Police Ayama Yakubu Akolgo, who is also a lawyer, says this is a breach of the Constitution. He said his motivation to challenge that aspect of the law is simply to enforce the supreme law of this country, which is the Constitution. Superintendent Akolgo insisted it is unacceptable that certain offences can be categorized and make them non-bailable. Article 14 of the Constitution, 1992 Constitution, makes all offences bailable upon conditions or without conditions. This, in the view of Superintendent Akolgo, is a judicial discretion that cannot be circumvented and prohibited by any lesser legislation. And Superintendent Akolgo joins me on the phone line. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Brigitte.
All right, first question. What is the reason behind Parliament enacting those laws as non-bailable?
Originally, when the Criminal Procedure and Other Offences Act 30, 1960 was passed, there was no offence that was non-bailable. So it was in 1975, NRC Decree 309, that made robbery, murder, treason, subversion, and other offences non-bailable.
Okay.
In 2002, Parliament under this Fourth Republic also passed Act 633, adding rape, defilement as non-bailable. And in 2006 again, Parliament under this Republic again passed Act 714, making narcotic drugs non-bailable.
Yes, but
all
I'm asking, the question you've not answered. The question is, what is the reason behind Parliament making those offences non-bailable? You're giving us a history behind it.
I cannot answer that. But what we know is that the Constitution does not make a distinction and does not make an offence non-bailable offence. But
do you agree that it is the seriousness of the offence that makes them non-bailable? For instance, murder. You talk about murder.
Yes, so murder is a serious offense, but that doesn't mean anybody who is held in suspicion of having committed murder has actually committed the offense. So it is only when you are convicted that you become a murderer. So until convicting, you still have your liberty based on certain reasonable conditions that the court would apply. So it is only when you are convicted that your liberty will be restricted. Until that, you are still a suspect, whether murder, rape, defilement, narcotics, or whatever.
Okay, so murder, narcotics, rape, treason, all of those are termed non-bailable. But under certain circumstances, it could be on health ground, sometimes delay in prosecuting the cases. Under certain circumstances, they have granted bail. I remember clearly, in the case of KKD, who is accused of raping a girl, he's been granted bail on health grounds. So under certain circumstances, though it says it's non-bailable, bails are granted.
In fact, when those cases that the judges grant bail, they do that in controversy with the Act. The Act did not give any exception. The Act simply said that a court shall not or shall refuse to grant bail in those cases. Any court that grants bail in those has actually violated the Act. But in actual fact, the court are actually applying the Constitution, in particularly Article 14, Clause 3 and 4. So there's a contradiction and inconsistency between the Act and that of the Constitution, and we are in the Supreme Court to ask the court to declare that that Act that is inconsistent with Article 14 of the 1992 Constitution is inconsistent and therefore void and of no effect.
The latter part of your submission, in other words, you are in court for clarification?
No, the Supreme Court is supposed to declare whether any enactment whatsoever that contravenes the Constitution, whether it's lawful or not.
But have you had victims themselves, people who have been accused of murder, rape, contend this non-bailable tag?
I don't get your question, please.
I'm asking, for instance, if someone is accused of rape, the offence is non-bailable as it is now. Have you had them complain about that?
No, it is not my business to ask them whether they like it or not. But all what we know is that we deal with the law, and the law does not say that if you commit such offenses, you should be denied bail. That is the most important aspect. As to the moral aspect of it, whether what they think of those offenses is immaterial as far as the law is concerned.
All right, thank you very much. Superintendent Akolgo is in court. He's challenging some crimes tagged as non-bailable. I mean, rape, murder, piracy, treason are non-bailable. But under certain circumstances, they are, victims or accused have been granted bail. Tell us what you think about it. In case you know, share with us by our social media platforms. News on TV3, add news on TV through our website, tv3network.com.